Good morning, students. Today I will explain you transportation in plants. Then a transport system is needed in the plant. Okay, then question is why this system is required? What is the need of that system? Then this system is required to transport number one, water, minerals, organic food, and hormones. Water is available in the soil and they have to transport it to the site of photosynthesis. Minerals, they are also found in the soil, then they have to transfer to the whole body of the plant. Then organic food, it is available at the site of the photosynthesis, then they have to transport these this food to the all body parts or especially in the storage organ. Then hormones are formed at the root tips and shoot tips, and they have to transport to the different body part where their action is required. Okay, then this is a reason why plant need transport system. Conductive now next conductive tissue and vascular tissue. These tissue are required to transport all above mentioned substances. Then these tissues are of two types. First is called xylem and second is called phloem. Xylem transport the water and mineral and phloem transport food. Okay. Then next is first conductive टिश्यू is phloem. Now see थोड़ा सा डिटेल देख लेते हैं. वैसे आप ऑलरेडी इसको 9th क्लास में भी पढ़ चुके हैं. Then it's for the revision. Now see, phloem transport food. It transports food and have four main type of the cell. First is sieve tube, companion cell, phloem cells, phloem parenchyma and sclerenchyma fibers. Now see in the diagram also. Sieve sieve pores. Now see, listen. The first is sieve tube element, sieve tube cells. Then second is companion cells. You can see this is companion cell, and the middle one is the that type of structure. This is sieve tube cell, and here these cells are there. These are called companion cells, and phloem parenchyma are present at the site, and the fibers are also present in between that. Then these are the four main types of cells in it. Now see the characteristic sieve cells. These are elongated and have thin wall. They have cytoplasm but no nucleus, and these transport the food and nutrients. Now next, and one most important character of the sieve tube cell, they do not have nucleus. They do not have nucleus. Then the companion cell, second, the nucleus of the companion cell governs or it controls the actions of or the activities of sieve tube cells. Companion cell have the cytoplasm, nucleus, and other organelles. They perform the tasks required for the sieve tube for sieve tube cell. Now these are living. These are living cells, and this is also living. This is also living, and phloem parenchyma are always living. They store food and are living cell. Sclerenchyma are the only dead cells. They provide the mechanical strength. Next is transport of organic food. This process is called translocation. It means transport of organic food is called translocation. In the process of photosynthesis, food is prepared in the leaf, and it is formed in the form of glucose. Then with the help of that carbohydrate, different type of the food like the protein and lipids are formed. Protein and lipids are formed by with this carbohydrate. And phloem transport food mainly in the form of sucrose. Now, the food is prepared in the mesophyll cells. For translocation, it is converted into the sucrose. In the form of sucrose, it is transported. Now, the sucrose is loaded actively by the mesophyll cells into the phloem or the sieve tube. In active transport, energy in the form of ATP is required, and this active transport takes place against the concentration gradient. When the sucrose reaches sieve tube. And lots of water also move inside the sieve tube from neighboring cells by the osmosis. And this mixture of the sugar and water creates a pressure inside. And now this is transported to the place which have less pressure. And sugar is given to that place actively. It means energy is required for unloading also. It is clear now that unlike transport in the xylem, which can be largely explained by simple physical forces, the translocation of in the phloem required the energy. And one more thing, direction of the movement of the phloem is bidirectional. Movement of food in the phloem is bidirectional. It may be from always it is leaf to root, stem, and other another storage organs, and sometime when the food is required, for example at the time after the time of autumn when the leaf new at tree or that plant shed the leaf, and when the again the leaf will come, sprouting will take place. At that time it requires a lot of energy, and at that time the food is transported from the storage organ to the upside, that is on the that particular point where the sprouting will take place. Then we can say it is a bidirectional flow. Next is xylem. This is a tissue that transport water and mineral, and it is also composed of four types of the cell. First is called tracheids, vessels, parenchyma, and scleroderma. These two are same, and their function is also same. They are living and store the food, and sclerenchyma, they are dead and they provide the mechanical strength. Now these two, starting two, they are of more important. The first is tracheids. Now seen diagrams also. Now see, these are the tracheids. These are having the tapering ends. Pits are present over it, and they join together ends to end. Now suppose this is one of the tracheids, then second will join from this place, and third will join from this place. Getting? Now see, they are long, elongated, and with cells with tapering end. Tapering end means this type of ants. And they are dead and lignified. Lignified means they have the deposition of the lignin so that they become mechanically strong. Then they transport water. Vessels, what are the vessels? Vessels are also dead and they are like this, and they join together end to end. Also, pits are present, also lignified and dead cells. Next, parenchyma, living, stored food, and sclerenchyma, it is also dead and give the mechanical strength. Then in all these four, only one, that is the parenchyma, is the living, other all are dead. Now next, absorption and transport of water and minerals. Water is absorbed by root hair, then it is passes across the root from the cell to cell. Now I can explain it with the help of this diagram. This diagram shows the passage of water from the soil to xylem. Now see, these are the xylem vessels here, and these are the soil particles, and these are the epidermal cells, and this portion is cortex, and this is endodermis. Then next is xylem vessels. Actually, root hair is the outgrowth of epidermal cell. It is very fine hair like a structure. Then the water enters into the root by the process of osmosis. By the process of osmosis, it enters into the root hair. Then water passes across the root from the cell to cell by osmosis. This is the here also osmosis takes place, and it also seeps between the cells. Now water is drawn up into the xylem vessels because the transpiration continuously uh, continuously takes place, and during this a suction or the pool is created, and due to which this water moves upward to the aerial parts of the. Then upward transport of water and mineral is called ascent of sap. It is called ascent of sap because mineral plus water, this mixture is called sap. Then upward transport is called ascent of sap. Many factors are there which play their role. Number one is root pressure, second is the capillary action, third is the cohesion of water molecule and transpiration pool. Now see one by one. The first is root pressure. Water from the soil enters into the root hair because of the osmosis. Root pressure is responsible for the movement of water up to the base of the stem. Then second is the capillary action. Capillary, these vessels, the xylem vessels, they act as a pipe. These are very fine tubes which are called capillary. And water then rises in the capillary because of the physical force. This phenomenon is called capillary action. Due to the capillary action, the water moves upward, and water in the stem rises up to the some height because of the capillary action. The next is the cohesion of the water molecule. Water molecules makes a continuous column in the xylem because of the force of attraction, means attraction, force of attraction, adhesion and cohesion among the molecules. And the next fourth one is the transpiration pool. What is transpiration pool? Continuously transpiration takes place in the plants. Loss of water vapors through the stomata or lenticel. These are lenticels. These are called the. This is called the transpiration. And transpiration through the stomata creates a vacuum, which create a suction. And due to this suction pressure, the water is sucked into the water column from the xylem tubes, and this water is able to rise to the great height in even the tallest plants. Now see, in this diagram also, these are the soil, sorry, these are the soil particles, and this is epidermis, and this hair-like structure, it is called the root hair. Due to the osmosis, the water is absorbed inside. Then root pressure pushes that water into the stem, and due to the capillary action, this water rises up into the water column, and the force of cohesion, adhesion and cohesion makes the column, makes a water column. And in the leaves, a most important factor is present in the leaf, that is the transpiration that creates a suction pressure, suction force, which called the transpiration pool. And due to this pool, a vacuum is created and the water column moves upward up to the leaf.